right now as we speak. If you're down there listening to me on your earbuds or whatever, and you want to call us, it's my understanding that Marsha Blackburn's field office, there was a collection of voters that decided to get together at 1 o'clock today on Church Street in Nashville at Senator Marsha Blackburn's field office to express their desire that she select Rick Scott to be the Senate Majority Leader. This is altogether right and proper. And frankly, all of this, senators don't like to be pushed around. Senators don't like to be told what to do. I'm not speaking to any particular senator here. I'm not speaking to Marsha Blackburn specifically, necessarily. But if her people so happen to hear, let's lend an ear. To hell with that. You work for us. And you would serve yourself well to understand it. This holier-than-thou attitude is what Donald Trump, it's why he exists, in part. Because we believe that the government that we elect to serve federally particularly has lost its way. It's lost its understanding of who the bosses are and who the bosses aren't. And I understand that in her case, Senator Blackburn just received a mandate. I get it. That's great. But that doesn't mean that she ought not to be answerable to the people. And if someone is pulling her chain from inside of her staff circle or in her inner circle because of some prior issue that she or they might have with Rick Scott or some prior issue that she or they, positive or negative, might have with Mitch McConnell or whatever, then I think the people deserve to know that too. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be. Now, with all due respect to Senator Blackburn's office, I've spoken to them. I spoke to two sources in Senator Blackburn's office, both of whom told me the same thing, that Senator Blackburn has not made a decision about where she is on the Senate Majority Leader position. I don't believe her. That is my right. That doesn't mean I hate her. That doesn't mean I dislike her. That doesn't mean that I don't think she's a good senator or can do good things. I mean, when did it become untoward or wrong for me to tell you the truth about what my heart and my gut tells me? I do not believe for a moment that Senator Marsha Blackburn doesn't have a position on this right now. What that is, or, well, I won't say what it is. Because, I'm not trying to cut anybody's nose off to spite their face or whatever. I'm not trying to cast aspersions. I'm not suggesting that Marsha's a bad person. I just don't understand, after serving the length of time that she served in the United States Senate with John Thune and John Cornyn. We know where they are. They threw Trump under the bus the first opportunity that they had. Look at their Heritage Foundation score. Look at their conservative scorecard. And you tell me, who's the natural pick? Here's the thing. This is as easy as it gets. Call Donald Trump and ask him who he believes will best serve the Trump agenda as Senate Majority Leader in the Senate, and then vote for that guy. Now, we don't get to pick a candidate that hasn't thrown their hat in the ring. And I understand some people are like, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, whatever. They don't want to be Senate Majority Leader. You got to want it. As far as this secret ballot nonsense goes, I don't know why it is. I think it comes from a day where the Senate considered themselves to be more important than any of their voters even. It is a long-standing tradition that the majority leader post or the leadership post in either political party is cast on a secret ballot. I wouldn't mind so much the Senate telling me, and I was talking to Chris Hand about this earlier today in the Cross, I wouldn't mind so much if the Senate said, listen, we're not going to talk about how we're voting until it happens, and then afterwards, after the votes happened and after the ballots have been cast, we will release how your particular senator voted. I think any senator unwilling to tell you how they voted in this majority leader race is unqualified to be a United States senator. Let me say that one more time so that all of you backbenchers can hear it. Anyone sitting in the United States Senate that is not willing to tell their constituents how they voted on the Senate Majority Leader race does not deserve to be a United States Senator. That includes Marsha Blackburn, Bill Hagerty, and anybody else. You work for us. Your bosses want to know what decisions you are making. This nonsense about, oh, this is always the way that it's been, I don't want to hear it. That time is over. We expect you to be responsive to the will of the people. Now, you can do what you want. You just got reelected, some of you. And that's fine. And Ray, I'm aware, Bill Hagerty, yes, I'm aware. We said this yesterday. But I appreciate you alerting us to that. Bill Hagerty is on record as how he is voting. He is voting for Rick Scott. Now, we appreciate that. Thank you for alerting us. We talked about that yesterday on the show. I'm not faulting you for letting me know. I appreciate that. I'm just worked up. I'm worked up because this we deserve to know. Y'all don't deserve to know. We get to pick up the Senate Majority Leader. Why does this matter? And I want to make sure that you understand why it matters, okay? I think it was 2004. I believe that's right. When George W. Bush won re-election as president of the United States, and the Republicans won the House majority and they had the Senate majority. And with that mandate, we felt like that we could really get some things accomplished. And in my lifetime doing this, what I do, it really is one of the reasons that I don't belong to any of these clubs in Washington, D.C. Because I heard it, in 2000. Prior to the election of 2000, I heard, man, oh, man, if we just get the White House, boy, we're going to do something with that thing. When Al Gore was running against, and I just started in talk radio, and I was listening to all of the politicians say the same thing. Boy, if we just got that White House, we'd turn this country around. If you just give a Republican Party that White House, and we'll get it done. And we did. And we went here. Here's the White House. You said you'd get it done. Get it done. Well, we don't have the House of Representatives. We got to have that. If we had that House of Representatives, we could really get something done. We got the White House, but if we had the House of Representatives, then we could really get some things going. And so in 2002, guess what we gave them? The House of Representatives. And we're like, here you go. Now you got 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and you got the House of Representatives. Just what you wanted. And they say, well, we don't have the Senate. We don't have the Senate. Boy, if we just had the Senate, we could get something done. And then we gave them the Senate. And then, you know what they said? Well, we don't have 60 votes in the Senate. If we just had 60 votes in the Senate, you see, we can't get anything done without a filibuster-proof majority. Is it always something with you people? Is it always something? You demand of the voters, and the voters give you what you say you need to accomplish the things that you claim you want to accomplish when you're out campaigning and begging for votes. And then we give you what you want, and it's always something. Let me tell you, I'm not putting up with it anymore. And you shouldn't either. There's no secret ballot. Not if you want to stay in Congress. Now, The reason that I demand that we know who Majority Leader is because of what I just described to you. Because as Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell played way too nice. Well, you know, they've got the he wouldn't even make them filibuster. So when Republicans have control of the Senate, they never get a 60-vote majority, and they always say the same thing. Well, guys, we've got the filibuster, and it's a very important thing. And I understand the filibuster is important, especially when you're in the minority. The filibuster is a cooling off mechanism, and it's a very important component of our constitutional republic. But there comes a time when you have to demand of the other. What they do down there, they don't demand that they actually filibuster. Here's what happens. So the Republicans have the majority. We got, 53 seats in the Senate now? And so the Democrats say, well, you don't bring up that immigration bill or we're going to filibuster. And you know what the Republicans do? They go, well, we can't bring up the leader. Mitch McConnell does this. So Mitch McConnell's got the bill. He's going to put the bill on the calendar. Let's say it's an immigration bill. Hey, we're going to put this bill on the calendar. And the Democrats and Chucky Schumer and all his boys over there and girls, they say, well, if you do that, we're going to filibuster. Now, what is a filibuster? It is preventing movement on passage of a bill in the United States Senate by holding the floor of the Senate. They don't even make them do it anymore. What we need is a majority leader that when the minority party says they're going to filibuster, you know what you say? All right, have at it, boys. Y'all get on the floor and y'all do it. And when y'all talk yourselves out, whether it's 12 hours or 14 or 28 or 62, then we're going to vote on this bill. Instead, they play nice. Oh, well, they said they were going to filibuster, and we really want to go home for a long weekend, and I've got a golf game this weekend, and we can't really be bothered to stay up here this week. So if they say they're going to filibuster, let's just go ahead and take them at their word. No, make them do it. There are other ways to demand. See, if you make them do it, the way that you break a filibuster is to have a supermajority of the body bust up the filibuster by seizing control of the floor. Well, if you don't make them filibuster, and it has to be members present. It can't be voting members, total voting members. It has to be members present when you do it that way. Now, I know I'm being incredibly detailed and I'm in the weeds, but I'm trying to help you understand, for those of you in Aniana, why Senate Majority Leader is important. You either play ball with the Democrats or you don't. And we need somebody that's going to advance the ball down the field for the conservative movement that Donald Trump represents. No more secret ballots. No more playing nice. Force it to the floor. If they're going to filibuster in the Senate, which they have the right to do, make them do it. And make them sit on the floor and make them hold the floor with voting members present on the floor. And they don't do that anymore because they're so nice. Everybody's nice and they're all lazy. Not all of them. I take it back. Most of them are lazy. I mean, I'm not trying to be nasty. It's true. They don't want to have to put in that hard work because if you made the Democrats filibuster, guess what the Republicans have to do? They have to sit their butts on the floor of the Senate too. And wait for about 5 Democrats to walk out of the floor and then somebody gavel in a point of order and say, I want to vote and see we have a supermajority to break this filibuster up. That's the way you do it, but they don't do it that way anymore. A real Senate Majority Leader would. You think John Thune's going to do that? He's a McConnell butt boy. Can I say that on the radio? No, I cannot. Okay. Well, then I will not call him a McConnell butt boy again.